Good morning and happy Friday. Welcome to a new episode of Thinking It Through with Tia. Voice is a little weird just because a lot of work this week, but that's okay. So before I get started today, I do want to check myself because I gave the email address wrong when I read it last time. I left off a two. So for anyone that was trying to email me, it was right in the description box, but I said it wrong. So it is titwt222 at gmail.com. So if you like to send your questions over to me to have added to the jar, then just feel free to use that email address, titwt222 at gmail.com. All right. Other than that, thank you for joining me again as we continue to work through the questions that are in the jar and address the concerns that people would like to hear me talk about. So let's jump into it and figure out what we're going to review. So let's see. What is Reiki? Okay, so that is a question quite a few people have actually asked me. And I happen to be training to be a Reiki healer. So that's a great question for me to answer. So Reiki stands for Universal Life Force. It is in alignment with your chakra energy. And I understand that not everyone technically understands chakras or whatnot. So in order to explain Reiki, I probably need to go backwards and explain what your chakras are. So you have seven, and different people have different opinions about this because some cultures have, recognized more. But generally speaking, we recognize seven chakras. Okay, so you have your root chakra that is located. Let me back up. You have seven chakras, but they start at the bottom and work up instead of 1 to 7. It's 1 to 7, like down to up. So first chakra is your root chakra. It's located at the base of your spine. This is the chakra that basically, and I'm going to try to say this in as lay terms as possible so that I don't confuse anyone. So for people that are a little bit more technically savvy with the chakras, please understand that this is a version to help people who don't know. Okay. So, your lower chakra, first chakra, is your root chakra. Your root chakra is basically the base of your values and your beliefs. It's about what do you stand on? What do you stand for? What do you believe? When you are in alignment with your root chakra, then you are in a state of balance. You're more in a state of peace because you just kind of trust that everything is okay. You feel safe. You feel secure. When you're out of sync with your root chakra, you may feel things like lower back pain. You may feel that things around you are not safe. You may struggle to fight with other people about what their beliefs are and things of that sort, because you haven't truly come to terms with understanding what your own personal beliefs are. So yes, the basics of the root chakra. Your second chakra is your sacral chakra. It is located a little bit below the navel area. It is what would be considered the orange chakra. So it is based on your creativity, your sexual desires. If you are out of sync in your orange or sacral chakra, you may feel a lack of creativity. You may find yourself struggling with sexual issues that you don't feel comfortable with, right? Like you might find yourself drawn to sexual experiences that actually don't make you feel comfortable sometimes. Like you're doing it because you don't know why. So your sacral chakra. Didn't say the root, but the root is red. So I'll give you the colors too. So the root is red. So if you're attracted to red, it could be that root chakra is an area of opportunity for you. If you're attracted to orange, it could be that the sacral chakra could be an area for you. We're going to move up to the third chakra, and that's going to be your solar plexus. So that is above the navel, but below the heart region. That is yellow. That is what I like to call your area of power, right? It is where the very essence of your power comes from. So it could be power confuses people sometimes. So I want to make sure I said it in a way that makes sense. But let's just say that it is the area that is going to be based on how you view yourself, like your self confidence, your self esteem, your self worth, your self value. So if you are out of sync with your solar plexus, you might feel low self esteem. You might feel insecure, right? Um, or you could also be standing very strongly in ego, like you could be prideful and egotistical. It is like an extreme of power and belief of who you are. When you're balanced in your solar plexus, then you stand in just a nature of self-confidence. You know who you are. You know your self-worth. You feel secure. You feel confident within yourself. And you realize that in being confident and secure in yourself, you don't need to take any negative actions towards someone else to make them feel like they're less than they are, because then we start getting into egotistical responses. The next chakra up would be your heart chakra, which is located basically in between, like your breast region. So we're in between where your heart space is. It is your heart chakra. The heart chakra is green. The heart chakra is to me, one of the most important chakras, because life is love, love is life, and all love flows inwards and outwards of your heart chakra. So in the heart chakra, though, it is where you are able to love others, but it's also about your self-love, your ability to love yourself. Um, when you are in your heart chakra space in a negative way, you just don't trust nobody. You trust no one, right? Your heart is very closed off. You may believe that love is not real. You may believe that love is not worthwhile. You may believe that like, if I love somebody, they're just going to hurt me. Like, that's all that's going to happen. That's just what I believe. And that just means that you need to bring your heart chakra into balance, right? But when your heart chakra is in balance, you give love unconditionally, right? And when some people talk about unconditional love, they think it means you just take anything from anyone. That's not true. It just means that you allow love to lead the way, and you accept people for who they are and love them anyway, right? Because the root of the heart chakra's issues are the traumas of your life. So what happens is, as you experience traumas in your life, it gets stored down into that root chakra, and it can be very, very deep down into this area, and you have no idea. You could think that you're healed. You could think that you've overcome everything, but until you intentionally go inwards into your heart to figure out what do you need to heal from, and then figure out how to bring that out or to come to terms with it, right? Then your heart chakra may be off. When your heart chakra is open, it just feels like a really balanced flow of life, right? There is nothing that I need to prove about why I'm lovable, right? There's no one I need to convince that I deserve love, because I trust that I love myself enough, right? So, mantra, the love I seek is me, right? The love I seek is me. So the love that I need is inside of me. And I will take that love that I give to myself and I will exude it out. So when you find someone that's really able to love in a different way than what you saw, sometimes it's just because they've learned to love themselves enough to realize that they don't need the validation of someone else to be lovable, right? So heart chakra is very, very important. Next chakra would be the throat chakra. The throat chakra is identified by blue. Um, to me, that is your communication skills, your ability to communicate. So one of the things that you may experience if your throat chakra is off is negative self-talk. You might talk negatively about yourself. You might find yourself gossiping. You might find yourself bashing other people that have nothing to do with you. That means that there's something going on in your throat chakra. 9 times out of 10, it could be because of something also going on in the heart chakra. So you may have experienced a trauma that made you feel like you don't have a voice, right? And so you've always had this feeling of your voice being stifled. So that may in turn make you feel as though all I can do is complain about things. I can't actually take action towards doing things because people have already said that I'm a failure. Or people already said that I can't do this, or people have already said I can't do that. So now guess what I do? I know I'm going to talk negatively the same about myself. But when your throat chakra is in alignment, you will find that you're very aware of the words you use. You make sure that you spend more time affirming yourself and others. You keep your word choices more positive. You choose to, even in tough situations, right? You choose to speak more positively about the situation instead of focusing on the negative part because you realize that words actually matter. Okay. The next chakra, which would be your sixth chakra, is your third eye, center of the head. So your third eye chakra is basically the root of your intuition and discernment. So if, let's say, you are a person who is having issues in their third eye, their intuition would be off. They would feel like they can't trust what they see in front of them. So it's almost like you will see things in a warped way, right? It almost feels like this mistrust, right, of sorts. But when your third eye is in alignment, you will feel more intuitive. You'll be able to discern what's good for you and what's not good for you. You'll be able to see beyond the things that your regular eyes see to better understand what the big picture is the best way that I can say it. This is the first time I ever tried to explain this not in spiritual language, so forgive me because I know it might sound a little different, but I'm trying to make sure that I can explain it in a way that anyone listening to this will be able to understand what I'm saying. The third eye chakra is purple. So if you find yourself attached to purple, then it usually means that you're probably really a thinker, right? And if you really are a thinker, then you might realize that when your third eye is off, you gonna get caught in your head. You overthink. You will think something from here to 2050, right? Um, that's supposed to happen tomorrow. It makes no sense. Or you will allow yourself to just get caught up so bad in a thought that you will start to battle with yourself about your own personal thought, meaning that you know something is true, but you will still be able to find a way to talk yourself out of believing what is true. So it just means that your mind is, your thought processes are a little bit off, could be a little blocked, so you can't really see. So you can do practices to, help recover that. And then the seventh chakra is the crown chakra located at the top of the head that is identified by pink. The crown chakra is your connection with the source, the universe, God, the divine, whoever you choose to relate that to, right? Because who am I to tell you what to believe, right? This is the source of your connection to, let's say, it could be psychic abilities, it could be the ability to flow in and out different gifts that you may have. It's just the connection is that I know who God is to me. I am aware that I am equally connected to God. God is not an external source for me. I trust that God is within me. God is within and without, of course, right? So, like, God is all around, but God is also within. So, when I trust that I have a connection and that God is within me, then I trust that if the God of creation decides to give a gift to me that the world may not understand, that's okay, right? Because I know where the gift comes from, right? But it could be also when you're off, it could be a situation where you might not know, right? So you might not be certain who God is for you. So you might find a bit of a struggle, and you might take your own stance on how you think um, the God you've chosen views you. So you might see that the God you chose to align with hates you, or never does anything to help you in the midst of your life or your circumstances, your situations, whatever it may be. Okay, so just know that when you bring your crown chakra into balance, you are then now in a state of trusting that all is well with and for me. I trust that there is a higher source that guides me, that gives me exactly what I need. I trust that I am not my own provider. I am provided for from a higher source. And that is provision in regards to whether we're talking financial provision, we're talking about gifts being given, we're talking about safety and protection, we're talking about love being given. It doesn't matter. Whatever your relationship is, you should have an idea of who your source is and come to terms with that. So that would be your crown chakra. So back to Reiki. So basically, what Reiki is, in as simple as terms, it is way more information available, but I'm going to keep it very simple. Reiki is a practice of wellness that allows a Reiki healer or Reiki master to help you identify which areas in your chakras you are struggling with. Okay, it will help you identify which area of the chakras you are struggling with and help you to energetically unblock those chakras. So you generally would lay on the table and the person would move their hands above you. Generally, you do not need to be touched, right? It's the hand will go above, and there is a feeling when the chakra is off, you can feel it. It is a tingling feeling that you can feel as the hands flow over the body. And then once the location is found, their practices are to help you unblock them. So basically, energetic flow is just a practice that helps you help with your energetic flow through your chakras, which could help you unleash the trauma, unleash the toxic behaviors, unleash the issues that are going on in your belief system, help you to stand more balanced in the power that you are naturally given by divine right, to help to get your heart more open so that you can equally give and receive love. Now, I didn't know what the question was going to be today. I don't pull the question beforehand, but I figured it was not going to be a regular kind of question because I was told to do the reading here in my meditation room, which is different. But now I understand why, because now I'm being told to just do something for you all that are not sure what a chakra is or sure how to identify it, but I am going to ring this bowl, right? So in a second, you're going to hear this bowl ring. What I'm going to ask you to do is go ahead and take a deep breath. Close your eyes for a second. When I ring this bowl, focus in your body where you feel any kind of tingle or vibration. And that might also help you identify which chakra area you are struggling in. And please know you could be struggling in multiple. Most of the time, when you're struggling in the red, this is just based on me interacting with different people. When they're struggling in the red or the root chakra, there is usually multiple places off because it's the base, it's what you stand on. If you don't believe that, it's very hard for anything else to align. So go ahead and take a deep breath, and then I'm just going to ring this bowl to give you a chance to see where you may feel it the most. So, if you felt that tingle up here, crown chakra here, third eye, anywhere around here, throat chakra, in the heart space, heart underneath that area, solar plexus, lower, closer to the navel region, you're now talking about your sacral chakra. And if you felt that in your lower back, it may be your root chakra. Um, I would definitely encourage people to find out more about Reiki, but I will also share that there are different people that view Reiki in a different way. And I would always like to remind people that there is a such thing as duality, good to bad, bad to good, things of that sort, opposites of things. And just as, you know, some things can be viewed in a positive light, some things can be viewed in a negative light, but remember that is just really the source. So for me, I can tell you, going through a Reiki healing, your heart has to stay completely pure. You cannot be in the midst of any drama. You can't get into anything. Your heart has to be pure. Your connection to God has to be pure. You can't drink alcohol. You can't the body has to stay clean. And that is a sacrifice that the person who's deciding to do this may have to make, in an essence, to try to help you out. But there might be people who are already struggling in what their foundations are that might practice Reiki, and the result you get may not necessarily be the result you desire. So, again, prior to the reading, this is another reason I kind of figured that this was not going to be about a regular question, because I was led to pull from messages from the universe today, which generally would not align with relationship or people kind of questions. But the question that I asked when I pulled this card today is, what messages do you have for someone that will watch this video that they've been waiting for or need to hear to help them bring themselves back into alignment? Okay. Now that's funny. Back into alignment. Now I'm thinking, and then the question ends up being, okay, I'm sorry. We're going to let that go. The answer came out: be clear about where you're putting your focus right now. Focus on your desired outcome. You have everything within you to create the life of your dreams. Stop doubting yourself for once. This is your time. We've got you. So, whoever you believe in, the expectation here is be clear about where you're putting your focus. So, there is someone that I'm feeling needs to hear that, because they're wondering why nothing's working, right? So that's what I'm hearing. Someone is wondering why I'm putting in this effort, but nothing seems to be working. What's wrong? The question is, where are you putting the effort in? Right? You might be putting the effort into the outcome, but you may not be putting the effort into the roots that need to be healed. So you may be trying to build on top of trauma or a space that needs to be healed. So this one was an interesting one, but I'm glad someone asked me that question, right? Like, that tells you that I have people that are listening from a lot of different perspectives. So thank you for asking that question, because a lot of people are a little nervous to ask me what Reiki is. But I hope that I gave an answer that is clear enough to make it make sense in as simplistic of a way as possible. Of course, you have all right to further research it. and, gain more information about it. It is a practice that was originated in Japan. So a lot of the history of it is very, very available online. So if there are any follow-up questions or anything more anybody wants to know that I can help them understand about their energetic space, about Reiki, about pretty much anything, right? I'm trying to be an open source to address whatever the concerns are. Feel free to let me know, and I'll continue to answer the questions as they come and as I pull them out of the bowl. So as we wrap, again, I just want to say sorry about the email address. Please get your questions to me at the email address I provided. It will still be in the description box as well. So until next Friday, I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day and a magnificent weekend.